welcome back to the rest of the iceberg. Today we will be discussing vaping.
People vape because they want to get away from reality. Like, what do you
What do
mean?
you mean get away from reality?
I feel
That's
like
not.
that's drugs.
Vaping, yeah.
That's like
That's
mushrooms.
drugs. That's
I'm sorry, that's
alcohol.
just
Vaping
drugs.
doesn't
Oh,
do
dear.
anything to you, except it's just literally you do it to enjoy yourself. You do it for fun,
You do it
I don't
'cause
know,
and you do
makes
it because
look
it gets
cool.
addictive.
No, but sometimes, yeah, like I know one person who vapes because it helps them with their like anxiety tics. Like if it helps them, then surely they should be allowed to do it. It's the same concept with smoking. People don't smoke
Yeah, but how?
because it looks. Actually, some people do. That's peer pressure.
Yeah, but like with the whole anxiety tics thing, like if they hadn't tried vaping, then they wouldn't have known that it would have helped them.
Right, but some like okay, but
So
at the same time,
they're
you could
essentially
say
just
that about
using
so
it as
many
an
things.
excuse.
Yeah, but you could say that about so many things. You could say that, oh, that person didn't really go on antidepressants because if they had tried like meditating before they went on depressants, they wouldn't need the medicine.
Yeah.
No, but that's not how
No,
it
but
works all the time.
but
Some
the thing
people
is with
don't
vapes,
work
that's
like
not
that.
an excuse.
Well, we don't know. We should say this now. We don't vape. I'm never vape.
Yeah, I'm never going to vape. I don't see
Okay,
the
I'm not
appeal
gonna
of
say
it.
that because realistically, I don't know what.
You
like,
literally want to try shisha.
the only reason I would try shisha is because I just want to have the experience with my cousins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there
So
you
you
go.
try
So
it.
you can say
but
that.
I'm saying that I'm just saying it's an
Yeah.
Arabic type of like pipe, and it's a smoking kind of thing.
You know, I think you should try that if you want to do it. Say something with it.
Okay.
You know, slay what you want to slay.
That is disgusting.
But I was just gonna say
Reminds
that-
me of Cafe Havana. There's like this Cafe Havana on this high street that I have to walk by every time, and you just smell it. It's like sickeningly sweet.
it can be very sweet. Obviously, I'm not gonna say that I would do it every day kind of thing.
Yeah, obviously. It's just like experience.
Yeah. Also, I think that a lot of people do kind of they don't realise the effect like social pressures have. I think we as a group we consider ourselves to be quite strong against
Because
social pressure.
we've never experienced that kind of social pressure though.
right
'cause
because
the
we all
people
have
that
the same
Vape,
Yeah.
we don't associate with them.
well associates that like we don't
No,
have
we don't like hang out with them
Yeah, exactly.
regularly and talk with them.
Yeah.
But like if you guys were to vape, then I think it'd be a different situation.
exactly
If you guys were constantly going to bathrooms and puffing stuff. And
bathrooms sorry and then but also
find toilets.
I just
But-
wouldn't vape. Like, I think I'm a very stubborn person. I think I'd be able to hold out even if someone was like, oh, just try it, I'd be fine. Like, no, I don't want to do that. It's gross, it's weird, not puffing something.
I will not deny it does look very badass. Like the whole the smoke coming out, but the overall concept is just disgusting.
I
It's
think
just
I think the
nasty.
looks just take away from the whole like actual stigma of it as well. Because even when I saw the said teacher outside today, I'll admit that it wasn't like my view of him was like I thought he
Slightly altered, no?
It's slightly altered, and
Because
that's
you look up to them and you're like, no way, they're really cool. But then you see them outside and you see them doing that kind of stuff.
it's just
like, oh,
not.
But at the same time, is at the end of the day, none of our business.
It
And
is
it's
his,
outside
and that's
the
what I'm
school
trying to say.
property.
That could be we should say that same principle applies to people of our age. That same principle is
But-
their business. My view of them should not be altered by the fact that they are vaping or they are doing drugs or alcohol. Because a lot of the times, as well, one big discussion point in the
Yeah,
world
but
now.
I feel like teenagers and adults, there's two different things, you know.
But we don't know
Also,
what's going
I
on
just-
in their house.
I feel like it's valid and it's fair if you want to do it to like cope and stuff. But I think letting it alter like your whole personality and like using it like basically it becoming your personality, that's an issue.
But you could say that about so much stuff. Like,
And this is included.
I agree. But I don't think, again, like, I feel like people take such a spin on that. Like, oh, they're making vaping their whole personality, that's why I hate that person. Okay. But if someone makes being, like,
It's
That's
not
getting
hate
very
that
off
person.
topic.
Yeah, I think it's not hate that person as well. Like sometimes it's just okay, I've made this judgment about them. Maybe I just don't hang out with them because you're afraid of like getting peer pressured into it type of
It's
thing.
not even
It's
that,
just being wary.
personality of
Yeah.
it. Vaping, I don't think that has anything to do with being friends with someone because we have friends that do vape and like we know people who vape.
Yeah.
It doesn't change us hanging out with them or
I
associating
disagree
with them.
with that. I disagree with that it doesn't change anything because I do think if your friends are vaping and you don't want to go out and vape with them,
Yeah,
that's gonna no, but I'm saying like I'll admit I'll try to distance myself.
Let's talk about the most obscure
I
examples.
don't know,
we can
people at work
find.
do it, to be honest. Like, I've literally had...
Just go to Croydon, bro. You'll see it
Well,
everywhere.
I've had someone who literally came into work 2 minutes later. He asked like the managers are pretty close, like at least there's like a group of them who are like really close, like they sleep over at each other's house, everything. And he was one of them with the manager, and he basically just asked her, "Oh yeah, can I go outside for a vape?" He'd been there for 20 minutes. So he had came in, like before he was like vaping outside in the little area outside, and then he came in, clocked in 2 minutes later, he's like, "Yeah, can I go for my break?"
What do you guys classify as being addicted to vapes? Or like
It's
any sort of substance?
If you feel like you can't survive without having one, like at least
Yeah.
one per day.
if you feel like uncomfortable not having it, not doing it.
You're like
type of thing.
getting anxious.
What do you feel? I'd say I'm addicted to my AirPods. Because I literally lost them today.
It's like not feeling
No,
normal.
but that's like because it's an expensive, pricey thing, though. You don't.
But so was vapes. A vape is an expensive, pricey thing.
Yeah, but
Some of
vape
them.
is like actually like
some of them
physically.
are pretty cheap though, depending on where you buy them.
Right,
Yeah,
but
like,
that just
I don't know,
whole
like,
experience. can
AirPods
be
can't
very-
actually harm you. AirPods can't like.
That's I mean,
Mm.
like that's also very controversial because obviously AirPods, you know.
Yeah, but any earphone can harm you because they'll blast music in your ears.
But like that's what I'm trying to say. Like I feel like vapes are so considered. What's the word? Derogatory. Yeah, that thing. And then like, but the way I feel like, obviously because of the health effects. But when you take away the health effects, I feel like that any other kind of teenage addiction nowadays, like to a phone, I feel like that's the same kind of hurt than a vape, other than the health effect.
Would you guys consider yourself addicted to your phones?
Yes, 100%.
Mm.
100%.
Mm. It depends.
If I
Or
don't have
just
my
like
laptop,
technology in general?
yes,
Yeah, technology in
100%.
general, yeah, because I'm always on my laptop.
Valorant.
Like I'm on my laptop more than I am on my phone. That's why I'm
There's no
less likely to say I'm
There's
addicted
no
to my
one
phone.
read anymore. Because like when I go to bed, I just like to read stuff. Like there's no one do that.
Like, I can read
I
on my
mean,
phone though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I do as well.
Everything's
I'm literally.
becoming
I've got the new
digitalised.
English Bible in my book, like literally in my bag. I'm
Read
literally
the-
just reading
Read the
my.
Bible.
That's
Read
the
the
thing.
Bible.
So
That's
I
what
do
she said.
read and I do like do stuff like that. I'm just saying, comparing it to how much time I spend on my laptop playing games, it's like basically
I don't even
nothing.
read that much anymore. Like I need to read a book about.
But I feel like it's also time. It's not even the fact that
Yeah,
it's
for me as well,
easier
it's
for us
time.
to be on our phones when we're like in school and stuff.
Mm.
Because at what point do we actually have time to pull out a book? Because then we have to move in like 5 minutes, and then
Yeah, exactly. Like, when I get bored at school, I just like scroll through Instagram or something. Just like, but then at home I don't do that as much as at home. I do a lot of reading. I just sit on the sofa and read for a bit when I want to chill out and stuff. Yeah, it can depend.
I think for me mainly, I only use tech for work stuff, like schoolwork and my other personal stuff. I don't really watch I don't really watch videos and stuff. Well, I do sometimes, but it's not like consistently every day.
I watch videos a lot. I feel like the main things I do is like
You scroll through
watch-
your little Insta reels
Yeah.
24/7.
no, I do a lot. I do a lot of watching videos, like TikTok stuff like that. I do a lot of chatting on Discord, and like I listen to music quite a lot as well. That's really all I do. I don't
Yeah,
do a
so
lot of
how
like
do
actual
you-
creative stuff.
actually spend your time on technology. Like that was hers. Usable.
I spend my time mainly. I spend my time mainly on I'd say like when I'm at home, I'd say like Netflix things like that. Maybe Snapchat occasionally. But when I'm at school, I'd say like probably like Instagram and Snapchat as well. But again, I will say that I didn't have Snapchat or Insta throughout all of lockdown,
How was that for you?
and that was I got Discord instead, and then that made life slightly better. But the time when I didn't, that was very sad. That was like I felt very socially isolated. I wanted to talk to people on WhatsApp, and they're like, "I'm gonna call you on Snap." I'm like, "Okay, well, obviously I can't go join that conversation, so I'm gonna stay here." It was very socially isolating. If you're in a group of people who vape, and then you're like, "Oh, I don't want to vape. I'm just gonna stand outside." You're gonna feel it's very easy to forget that feeling of being socially
House party
isolated.
days on COVID was so fun.
You had a house party.
Yeah,
I
of
do.
course.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
I have
Like even
started
getting
for a
house
bit.
party, I had to convince my parents so much. And the only reason I didn't get it is because I got Discord instead. So I was like, good job. I don't need to get it.
Good job.
I feel bad because like I feel like I had talked to people throughout lockdown, but I didn't have. Like I downloaded Snapchat like really recently. I don't even know why I downloaded it so late. Like I feel like I could download it like 3 years ago and it would have been the exact same. But I guess I just like thought I left it too late. But I was like, why not? I'll just get it and see what happens. Like I don't really have a. But
You know what's quite interesting? The way certain vapes are like deliberately designed to appeal to children.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What do you mean? I actually
Like,
don't know what
there's
There's
basically-
like highlighter vapes.
Yeah,
like
there's
full of,
so
like,
much like pens and stuff.
like children cartoon ones. Not
Yeah.
necessarily children, but there's like I know there's a Rick and Morty vape. That was so that's quite it's just odd how it's like deliberately marketed to take advantage of children and like teens.
But I feel like it also just makes it really easily, like you can conceal it really easily if it looks like something else.
Right, I agree, I understand. Okay, but that's us from kind of a moral, societal point of view. You
Yeah,
go
but
into a business point of view, they're not going to think. the
Yeah,
same
that's what
thing.
I'm thinking. I think it's
But
like,
there should be
I
at
think
least
that's
some
like a
sort of
business.
government law or something.
Why?
Because the government are
It's not the
allowing.
government's business.
Yeah, but it is though because they're in charge of the society. They have the
But
power.
we've chosen a
But
society
in all
that.
honesty, are we so real? I feel like the government, well, businesses think business, the government thinks money,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And like the whole thing with like taxing alcohol, cigarettes and stuff, like that money goes back to the government, right? And they want that money. So like that's why like when you buy those like fat packs of cigarettes at the airport which have like 20 singles in them, right? They're so expensive. But the government, because my dad smokes, like that's why. Literally, the last time he came home from holiday, every single time he always buys one of those packs.
Crazy.
Yeah, like he absolutely loves them. But that's the thing, like for the government, having these addictive things is good for them because that tax money is precious.
Yeah.
So
Why do
it's-
you think they don't get
They
banned?
don't care about
that's
the
why you
resulting,
don't
it's
ban
about
them.
the
You only
money.
have specific places where you can't smoke or you can't drink. But then everywhere else
Morally,
is
though,
I mean,
they
fine.
should actively.
Morally, they should.
Yeah,
but
but-
also, think of
But the
it from the.
government's morally corrupt, so
Yeah.
morals
Also, think of it from the NHS perspective. The NHS is
Yeah.
literally using the government money to send out messages: don't smoke, don't become an alcoholic, don't take drugs, kids. They send out messages almost every day. The amount of leaflets I see on the streets in like your local GP
Okay,
practice.
but that's not the source. So you have to get directly to the source.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that's government's money being used. Don't sell cigarettes. Don't buy cigarettes. What's funding those packages? Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Nothing like
They're counterproductive.
they're very counterproductive. But at the same time, the NHS, what they're trying to say when they promote these messages, they're being very hypocritical because they're using money taken from taxes of cigarettes and
Yeah,
things like
but
that.
I feel
often.
like
But at the
again
same way, they
that
wouldn't even
like
have
the
had
problem.
to
I
make
feel like
those
the
messages.
problem therefore stems from the government itself because the NHS has to get money from somewhere. But
No, I
Obviously,
agree, but I'm not
obviously
saying it's the
private,
NHS fault. But I'm saying what we're thinking of this very moral society that we'll live in. It's never going to be like that's just not the society that we will live in, and it's never going to be. We're saying this as okay, guys. Don't forget, we're literally 17. Some of us are still 16. I'm the only 17-year-old here. Oh my god, you turned 17 yesterday. My bad.
Why are you just okay?
But what I'm trying to say is literally, there's two 17-year-olds, two 16-year-olds. We're saying as if we know, like, oh, the moral viewpoint should be the only viewpoint you're looking for. That's not.
It's just. I want to
That's-
go. Can I?
Yeah.
Can I
go
go
on.
back to the thing about marketing to children because I remember I read this book ages ago because my brother got this book about teenage psychology and apparently there's like I forgot what it's called, it's like a special hormone we have that makes us like want to take risks, and then like by marketing to children with vape products and stuff, like children are more easy to influence and like make them want to do stuff than adults are. So you know, and I think that's interesting. It's like adults are more in control of all their actions. That teenagers are much more. They want to like do stuff much more and take risks more, and then like that's why so many teenagers vape because they want to like have the adrenaline rush and stuff. So yeah.
But vapes being addictive, which I understand your point from the child psychology point of view, like the adrenaline rush and whatnot. That is again true for so many substances out there and so many things.
We're talking about vape
I
specifically.
get that.
It's such a big issue.
It is such a big issue, but be realistic. What could we do that would stop it being such a big issue?
Can't do anything. I mean, government can, and they don't intend to
But
anytime
we
soon.
can overthrow the government and get them to, or we can persuade them.
Trying to have a riot, yeah, shush.
Yeah. We do Greta Thunberg and like protest outside and stuff. And that's what I've
Greta
got.
protested for climate change.
Well, what were you protesting for?
Dare you?
What were you going to protest for? Don't vape, kids. Coming
Just
from...
like-
That's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
The thing is,
Don't listen
we
to
could,
the
we could
teacher,
do
but they listen
we
to
could do
us.
reverse psychology. That's like, I don't know why I know so much about psychology. I don't even do psychology. But that's like, you tell someone to do something, they do the exact opposite. Like the more you tell the kids not to do it, they're going to do
a
it.
kid, oh yeah, vape, they would not think, oh, let me not vape.
Yeah.
They think, let me vape.
Oh, great, okay. So either way, it doesn't work. If you tell them not to vape, they're going to do it to spite you. And if you tell them to, they're going to do it. That's...
No, because also,
Oh, dear.
be, like, just, I'm kind of more, like,
Yeah.
sorry, you go ahead, I'm not really got
No,
the
you
words
go.
yet. Okay, well, I was going to say that, like, a school will catch kids vaping. Be like,
The consequences aren't even that
the
severe.
consequences aren't severe.
They just chuck it and be like, okay, don't vape again.
Don't
End
vape
of.
again. But that was just, like, what we saw. But I don't know, maybe it's different in other schools. But
No.
even out
No,
in
but-
public.
Especially in state schools, they're not gonna care at all.
And I'm saying, like,
That's what's
what
telling me.
people are like, so they get caught vaping. At this point, it's so regular that it doesn't mean anything anymore to them.
At the end of the day as well, the teachers will have no control over it.
Word.
They go home.
Like you
what
have
they're
to,
gonna
you
do,
have to
they-
separate school life from personal life. Like the second they're out of school,
You
they
can't
go
do
back to
anything.
it. Like
And
there's
not only
nothing
that, there
anyone
was
can do about
something
it.
else. Oh, what's really important? Oh yeah, you go to a shop. Literally, the half the reason why people have vapes is because people,
The little corner shops.
the little corner shops.
I've got a vape shop at the corner of one of my streets. Like it's literally it only sells vapes and fizzy drinks.
I've seen so many of those.
Yeah, and you can order it on
yeah,
Just
the little
Eat as
vape
well.
hut down the street.
You can order a
Yeah.
vape on Just Eat.
Yeah,
Can
literally,
you?
vape shop is on, like my vape shop next to Norbury is literally on Just Eat. Literally is, do you want to see?
Because it's a consumption thing.
Like, you can
Unless you
literally,
actually die,
you
you
can
can
literally
like,
search it up.
It's just, I just think it's so funny. It was like, do you want a vape with your pizza?
And it's literally called vape shop.
little vape hot dog.
Oh dear.
But like, even
worry
you go
about
to like,
society.
okay, but also,
Mm-hmm.
okay, New York,
Oh.
marijuana is legal. They literally go around, they start
Oh
selling
yeah.
it. I saw it when I was there.
They made it legal because it doesn't change anything. No.
It doesn't change anything. You think making vapes illegal for the age of 16 and above, say, do you think it's going to change anything?
If anything,
It's going to make it
I
worse.
feel like the
It-
longer they wait, the more excited they're gonna get to try it. Like, say you're from a really good family who won't allow that kind of stuff, and you will not be able to do it without getting caught out. You're just gonna be like, I feel like they'd be so excited to try it
Yeah.
when you get older, and so
I
then you're
feel like
18,
you just
bam,
anticipate
first thing
it.
you do, get a vape.
Mm.
So it's like a rite of passage, coming of age thing, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so weird to me. I don't think even knew what vaping properly was till I was like 12. I think I asked my dad, and he was like, "Oh, it's just smoking," but like, really, does it stop?
No.
He asked I asked what vaping was, so I saw someone doing it, and he said it's just like smoking, but like it smells nice, and it's like, I don't know, more like smoke is like proper smoke. It's more like dry ice smoke. If that makes sense. So
I
it's,
think
like,
vaping
nice
doesn't
smoke.
have tar in it, so that already reduces the health risk.
Mhm.
But even then, my mum, she went to like all these talks now. She works in a consultant, and I've been to her practice, and I've seen that a lot of them, typically in GP practices as well, you don't get a lot of our age kids there, because A, when we have a problem, we tend to not tell people, and B, if we do want to go see a GP, it takes forever. You have to book an appointment. The appointments in like a month's time, and it's a very long process. So the people that did normally come up were people who are like, I would say 30 above. They were all smokers. Like everyone you meet. My mum has gotten to that point in her like career now in that area particularly, where she goes up to someone, she doesn't even ask them, do you smoke? She goes, how many packs a day? Because so many people lie to her as well. They're like, oh, I don't smoke.
Peak. You think they're not gonna cock on their
Yeah, and then my
doctors,
mum's
mate?
like, I can smell it from here. Like, what are you on about? But sorry, carry on.
Our teacher, that teacher, he hides it really well.
He does hide it very
You
well.
can't even
But you can, I could
sniff it
kind
on
of
him.
tell because of his teeth. They're so yellow.
Mm.
I was like, there's something else going on. I could tell there was something.
Isn't that like a symptom, like when you do it?
Yeah,
to a lot
there's
of people, it's, like-
halitosis, and then you get
yeah.
bad breath. And
I thought
sorry,
it was a tar or something that makes your teeth go all yellow and stuff. Is that?
That's for
I don't know.
cigarettes.
Cigarettes. Oh.
Yeah, but cigarettes just ruin your teeth overall. It's not even
Yeah.
that they go yellow, they go black.
So it's like I have my uncle
Just
smokes,
everything.
and his teeth are really bad.
yeah, my dad unfortunately used to smoke for a long time. He stopped when I was born, by the way, just to put that out there. I was the one who changed his life. But
just saved it.
Aw.
No, to be fair,
Mine does it more now.
No, my
You're just a burden.
yeah. So my dad unfortunately did, and now he's got a really black tooth, and and
She had to think about that one.
yeah, I did. I'm not gonna say that word again.
She's hesitating.
That's the 5-second pause, and you're gonna like when editing. That's gonna be really confused now. But yeah, unfortunately, he's got that now, and he actually really regrets smoking. He doesn't even like when I told him that I want to try it because all of my cousins have, and I just want to see what it's like shisha. He was like, he got really upset. Like he was like, and he even said to me that if you do, I won't like.
Speak to you.
No, I won't speak to you. No, I won't go with you. I won't be with you. Like, you can't call me afterwards because he's worried he'll get sucked back into it. Obviously, I respect him for that, and I'm like, okay, I won't do it in front of you. I won't tell you when I'm gonna go do it. If you ask me, but even if you do ask me, I'll be like, no. Like,
I'd never do that.
It's just
and
it's the temptation.
and obviously I respect my dad's wishes. If he doesn't want that, then yeah. I just think that like I feel like a lot of people, they don't realise how many times people regret kind of decisions like these. But at the same time, so many people know the regrets decisions and like the kind of consequences. Like literally in our biology class, we were talking about the effect smoking has on the lungs. We had the literal lung out. She told us. She pointed to the areas. We saw how much effect
It's
it
not
will
like
have.
school doesn't tell us all this stuff. Everyone's well aware of the consequences and they still do it.
But that's the question then. What do you think is actually going to stop people?
Nothing until they realise how deep in trouble they are as a result of it. Until they start seeing the consequences. Even then they probably won't. Like take drugs for example. People are aware that it's awful for them, it's actually terrible and it destroys them, but they still continue because they're addicted.
I think even after you see the effects, it's just you've reached the point where it's hard to stop. So it's like, okay, but despite the effects, I can't live without it, so I'm going to keep on going because it's impossible to otherwise.
I was going to say, like, say you were an employer, would you hire someone who vaped in the past?
Yeah,
Wouldn't care.
exactly.
Literally wouldn't care.
It
Okay,
wouldn't matter.
but
That's
like-
their own personal decision.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people are on it, like talking about these days. Like, you know, they're saying don't get a criminal record. We're talking about if we want to do an apprenticeship or uni because we want to know what's going to be like when we apply for jobs. If vaping, like all we hear right now, especially in sixth form, jobs, uni, apprentice, all that kind of stuff. If vaping doesn't have any effect on that, does it really matter at the end of the day?
It,
It
affects
matters-
your health
yeah,
though.
it
It
matters
matters.
health.
But
because
what I'm
you won't
saying is
live.
health is seen as such a low cost thing in my eyes.
Yeah, it's
all I
seen
see
as a
right
low
now
cost
is-
thing until you're actually suffering. We don't complain because we have a free healthcare system.
Yeah.
That's so
You
true.
live
we can
anywhere
go
else
straight
and
to
you
the doctors
continue
when we need
vaping,
to.
you get addicted to stuff, then say like you lived in America, like do you know how
You're finished.
terrible that would be
Mm.
for your life? Because then you actually have to pay for your consequences. And yet here where we have free healthcare, it's at least a bit easier because
They
everyone
take
contributes.
advantage of it.
Yeah.
I think I have a good example. Like my sister, she has this problem with her ears. We figured this out quite a while ago. Like she can't hear properly anymore and everything. It's just like, it's not like deaf or anything. It's just like she has this weird like build up of, I mean it's a bit gross, but you know, earwax in her ear or something like that. And my mum is like, don't look at me like that. And my mum is like really like she's a medical professional, she's a therapist, like she knows a lot about this stuff. So the second she realised it was an actual problem, she couldn't hear stuff sometimes. She went to the doctor. They told them what was wrong. They said that like it's good that you caught this early because if this carried on, you just like assume that she was just being lazy or just like I don't know, like that her ears were just like gluey for some other reason and they wasn't permanent. Then she could have like potentially been like partially deaf throughout her life. So it's both like having a really good healthcare system that catches things really quickly and also being like vigilant about that kind of thing. So yeah.
Question for you guys. Do you think people who develop emphysema, which is something associated to smoking, lung cancer, things like these, do you think they should be treated on the NHS?
Oh, that's
Why? Because as a consequence of their decision to smoke.
Yeah.
I think they should. Only because, think about it realistically, I feel like people get put onto stuff for like, not even because they necessarily want to. Because, so like, one example, like, you just live in a household where like both your parents smoke, right? You're just around it all the time. It's just natural. You've already like felt the effects of it because your parents smoke.
And
Right.
then on
Right.
top of that, you have all the marketing
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then school friends.
Yeah. And then you just have family. You go home and they're smoking. Your friends who vape, and you're just like, okay, well, it's normal. And like, yeah, you see the effects, but it's just like you're around it so much, you might get used to the smell. You
Right.
might just normalize it, and you might just do it
It
one
might
day.
remind
and
you
you're
of
just
like safety or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
and you might just do it. Another, like, if we're talking about drugs instead of like actual smoking, depending on the area you live in, if it's just normal to drug deal, then you get roped
shaft
into it and
sentence,
you
of course.
start, definitely. You just start dealing and you just start getting involved with the wrong things, but like you can't help it because it's so normal around you. It's just natural. Like everybody does it, type of thing.
Also, with vapes, we don't know like the actual consequences just yet. It's still
It's a very
fairly
niche
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
so they don't have enough data to show that it actually has impact on you.
Mm-hmm.
I think undoubtedly it does, but we just haven't had enough time to understand what it is.
I think also we should actually look at what vaping was introduced as. It was introduced as an alternative to smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that people are just already going to vaping
Just
as
going
its
to
own niche,
immediately.
it's completely destroying the point of it. Vaping was introduced for people who are struggling
To get off
yeah.
cigarettes
Mm.
and then to choose a vape
It's
as an
just
alternative.
slowly deteriorated out of control.
To add on to your vape's impact thing, over time it can lead to scarring of the lungs alveoli, which are obviously the tiny air sacs. Yeah. Along with thickening and narrowing of the airway thing. And I actually just searched up right now. So from lungfoundation.com, it says the health impacts include nausea, vomiting, mouth and airway irritation, chest pain, heart palpitations. At the same time, coming from vaping360.com, the positive impacts of vaping. This is quite funny. It says improved lung and heart function and even better senses of smell and taste.
Well,
No,
the
not
thing's
true.
literally called vaping world, though.
Yeah, maybe the positive impacts of vaping might not be as truthful. You tell people who vape, like, oh, you know that this causes nausea, vomiting, mouth and airway irritation. There's a very...
I've never experienced that. I'm fine.
Exactly. I have no
There's
underlying
such
health
limited
condition.
research on it.
That and it's not meant for them. Scientists or, health professionals, when researching the effects of vape, it wasn't being serviced for 16-year-old girls, 17-year-old girls.
It's being explored for like 8-year-old males.
And it was not only that, it was being experimented on people who smoked in the past. So they already may have had
underlying health conditions due to
they may have had
smoking.
already scarred lungs. So we don't actually know the full extent of vaping. But you tell someone this, they're still not going to listen.
Yeah, and by the time you find out the truth, it's too late.
But then again, we don't know what the truth is. The truth might be that vaping has no... Doctors say now we don't want kids to try it. We want to discourage kids from trying it. Because the tests that are currently being performed are on people, like I said, who are most likely smoked in the past, things like that. That's why doctors don't want new people trying it. But we also don't know if vapes actually have that bad consequence we think that they have.
They contain nicotine, though.
I think they do, but that's an addictive substance.
Addictive stuff can still destroy. And plus, it's like electrical.
Yeah. I mean, I know a story of one person who was vaping and the liquid, like, burnt into her mouth or something. And it
Yeah.
burnt.
But people charging their vapes and then them blowing up, exploding because they left it in for too long.
Let's talk about TikTok as well. You see so many people vaping on the app. Live streams as well.
Some
It's
people just do it very subtly as well. Like they basically just have it in the background. Because I think TikTok has this thing where you can't, I don't know whether you can't actively do it or not, but either way people would do it like just without the actual thing in it. Just them like just having the smoke because then you don't actually know what it is. They can't really do anything about it. And if you're just like holding it, then same thing.
Sorry, just to add to Tabby's question if vapes have nicotine, they do. They're also considered e-cigarettes, so I guess that's probably why. And commercial vape juice comes in doses of 0 nicotine, as well as 3 mg, 6 milligrams, 12 milligrams, and 18 milligrams per milliliter, though. So if you have 100 milliliters, obviously you're going to have 180 milligrams of nicotine. But at the end of the day, if you had kids in this day and age, and you were like, don't vape, like, what would you do to, like, what would you do to your kids? Like, what would you do?
That's low-key why I don't want kids.
Because you're worried.
Yeah, you can't control them.
You can't control them.
We turned out fine, but
Well, did we really? No.
I mean this one, Shaft over here, not so sure.
Yeah, Shaft's the dodgy one, guys.
I'm not sure about me either, to be honest.
Yeah, you're crazy. With
You're going to
yourself.
Italy. She's going to go mad.
Yay!
No, I don't know. I haven't done it. I kind of like, I just swore myself off from like a whole bunch of stuff when I was young. But it's like, whether I believe I can follow through with it. It's just like the people I will hang around with in the future. Like there's no kind of stopping what they do with their personal lives. So it's like, all I really think about now is how much of it I'll be surrounded by like in the future, because so many people do it now. It's like we're growing up with
It's
people
not
who
gonna
vape.
stop.
It's not gonna stop. We're always gonna be surrounded by it. Like we're always gonna have friends who do it.
I
So
reckon
it's
they're gonna
really-
lower the age. I've got a feeling. When we are,
I don't lower the age, really.
No,
I feel like, because they're already thinking about lowering the age of voting to 16.
Voting,
Yeah, but
but
voting is
cigarettes.
No, but
different.
then people are gonna be like, oh, so you can vote at 16, but you can't drink alcohol, you can't buy alcohol.
I don't think you should be able to vote at 16.
You don't.
If you make stupid decisions like buying a
I
vape,
mean, like I think about
do you
like
think
in America,
you're capable of
it's,
Do you
deciding?
remember we did that elective in what was it, year 10?
That was so
yeah,
fun.
that was so fun. No, because like, we talked about like how also like with that you can be influenced if you vote at 16 by your parents.
Yeah.
But not only that, I don't know if you remember, there were a few people. Actually, sorry, this is completely different. When we were in year 8 or something, we did this voting with the Green Party. Whenever the last election was, when who was the
I remember we did the whole school voted for a party, right? I think
yeah,
actually no.
and Lib Dem
Green.
won.
No, yeah, Lib Dem, then Green, then Conservative, then Labour, because no one likes Labour here because like they want to abolish private schools. So,
Well, yeah, at that time,
Yeah.
no one liked
Well,
Labour, but obviously now everyone hates the Tory party.
Well, yeah,
So.
we don't hate them.
But what I was going to say is that the people, like the year 11s at that time, were going around shouting Green Party, everybody should vote the Green Party, no one should vote any other party.
Yeah, but it's a small minority. It's
It's
not
a small minority, of course, and then actually the Green Party didn't even win in the end. I mean, they came second. But I was going to say, like,
It's an improvement, though. I feel like Green Party.
the Green Party always comes last in election. No
Exactly.
offense.
So if they came second,
That was
Yeah.
in a school of 300 kids. Not even that. But that was in, yeah. That completely strayed away from my point. But, all this talk about our politics and, like, what we think that, like, we think we're not mature enough and things like that, it's very quickly changing. And the fact that we're even looking at vapes right now, you go to our parents, ask them at 16, what were you doing? They're not going to say, oh, I was looking, like, people at my age was thinking,
16, our parents weren't even in the living country.
well, my parents weren't.
Mine weren't. Hers obviously weren't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What were your parents? Do you know what your parents were doing at 16?
No, they're probably in England. I mean,
Probably
yeah.
doing some scandalous stuff,
I don't know,
sneaking
probably-
out of house
no,
and meeting up.
no, my parents,
Oh.
my parents haven't actually told me. No, like they didn't meet until they were like 20 something. They met at like their wedding.
Yeah, my
So
parents
that
were
was
out somewhere taming lions,
No, my dad is my dad.
elephants.
Oh, his mum's house was like. I mean, they can't see me, can
Why'd
they?
you point?
No, you know what I mean. For the
just down the
people
road.
listening, he lives like, well, he doesn't live now, but he, like, as a child, he lived literally just down the road from here. And then my mum lived in Norfolk, which is like 3 hours away. So they didn't meet until they were much older. Yeah, but they were definitely here, I think.
My parents are Pakistani.
Were your parents ever like tempted by cigarettes and stuff?
I think my mum has told me many times that she is ashamed that I am not a more rebellious teenager, because apparently when she was my age, like literally, she lived as a kid in like the tiniest little town. I can't say it, can I? Because they'll dox me. It's the tiniest little. It's really nice. It's like near Norwich, but it's absolutely tiny. It has like 1,000 people in it, and yet somehow she managed to like sneak out and meet boys and like smoke and drink alcohol and all that
Simple for
stuff.
real.
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's everything that
I
I
don't
do.
even know, but yeah, no, she was getting us loads of stuff. She dyed her hair. She was a bit of a rebel, and then my dad was very boring. He didn't do anything for like years until he went to university. So yeah, that's all I know. Really, they have told me a lot about their lives as kids. Probably because it's embarrassing.
I think that a lot of people, like, obviously, but guys, do you ever feel like you're gonna regret this time?
What time?
Like, just not being rebellious teenagers? Like,
No.
no?
It's probably for the best. Like, okay, fine, you won't make little dumb decisions, and you don't have to do stupid things to
Actually,
make
fine.
good memories and stuff,
That's
and
true.
to have a good teenage life.
No, it's true. But, I mean, I don't know, sometimes I feel like, oh, when I was, like, in year 7, sometimes I wish I downloaded TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat then. Because then now, when I'm in year 12, and my parents, like, I'm still having to ask my parents if I just done it, I feel like they would have been more like, okay, you can have them back now. Rather than, like, me begging for each one at a time.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't necessarily know that's how it would have turned out. Could have ended up worse.
Yeah. I feel like that regret mainly stems from just the people around you rather than actually yourself. You're just like, oh yeah, but I could have done this like they do it type of thing.
Yeah.
And I would have turned out like them
FOMO.
and they're fine.
Fear
so
of
I should
missing out.
Yeah.
Does anyone here have big FOMO? FOMO, fear of missing out, or just general stuff?
Sometimes.
I get such big FOMO.
you do.
It depends on the people. Like, if I found out, like, all you guys are, like, I don't know, if, like, you went out to the park and you all ate pizza or something without me, I'd be kind of sad, because I'd be like, oh, I want to eat pizza, you know, because I like pizza. I like hanging out with you guys.
It was kind of like first party like of that kind that I'd ever been to. I didn't even know it was going to be like that. Like, I didn't know there was going to be like alcohol or anything, and I was just like, realistically, do I want to be around it? No, but I still
Would
went.
you have gone if
What?
you'd found out there was going to be alcohol?
No, I wouldn't have gone.
Do you regret going?
I do, but like
What?
I feel like
I was there with you.
It's just only because one, like, I obviously knew it wasn't my scene. I wasn't gonna enjoy it, and I didn't enjoy it.
It's
But I
'cause I
was
wasn't
told,
there.
yeah, I could have. Like, I was told, yeah, it would be fun, type of thing. But it obviously wasn't. It's not my scene. It never will
host
be.
one with
No,
me.
shut up.
No,
shut
But
your
if I
cunt mouth.
host
with
one,
her.
would you do? Yeah, because I'm gonna host one. Obviously not with alcohol.
But that's
No,
like
but
a
again,
men's
it's like I
party,
just
no?
it's not my scene. Like, I can't. I physically, like, I genuinely just can't enjoy it. And I went home and I was just like, I hate. And I literally went home and I was like, I wish I could have just come home from work and just gone home and literally just played Valorant and that's it. Like, that's all I really need to do. But then it was just like, oh, I wish I did enjoy it like the rest of them, type of thing. It was like, I don't understand why I don't enjoy
I think
it.
it has
feels
to be
weird.
with the right people, though.
It does. Yeah.
But did you enjoy it when like we went to watch No Way Home?
No, because she doesn't even.
I
like
don't
alcohol.
even like those movies. It's like,
But did you enjoy the baking challenge?
I had to leave early.
Don't say
It's
that.
just
You're
not
breaking my
nice.
heart.
Yeah, this is
No,
hurtful.
I know,
but
I
the
know, but it's
actual
just
process.
I'm not. I don't.
Like, even
I just
before
don't
that,
like going
when
out.
we were chilling on the bed and laughing. In
Oh
the
yeah,
dark.
I don't like going out.
And then when we took that B-roll, which was literally
Your lock screen,
now.
don't do
I know. I don't like. Yes, we had that moment, but
That moment.
no, we can have like that's the thing.
Even when we play
Like,
Minecraft, you don't enjoy that.
no, but I like that because I'm at home and
That
I'm
is
just playing
unfair.
games.
Socialise.
That is
Do you guys call?
What?
Do you call when you do it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you call them?
Like, when was the last time you played?
A long time ago. A long time. It was before exams.
Well, that makes sense. Then.
No,
But
I
yeah.
actually feel that. I feel like I'm really, like, a small group of people or one person, I feel like I'm chill. Like, it depends on the person. Like, if I know them well, I'll be fine and I'll feel secure and happy. But, like, if there's more than that, like, just thinking about being, like, with a group of people who I don't know that all that well, and there are loads of them, it just really freaks me out and I feel like I don't belong and I feel really worried all the time. And I feel like everyone's ignoring me and that they don't care about me.
Oh guys, my boss is here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people. I was just gonna say that like this whole idea of vapes, I don't even think it stems from looking cool. I think it stems from being like I saw this one girl on TikTok and she was saying that I don't want to smoke, I don't want to vape anymore. And this is the third time I've tried quitting, but I keep going back to it. One of the reasons is because socially it just boosts her social life. And if it boosts her social life, what am I gonna say? Like,
How
don't
does
do that.
it boost their social life? How does that work?
Because sometimes if your friends vape and they go out and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna go out for a quick smoke.
Yeah, but
You go
can
with them,
still
that-
hang out with them with that.
And also, there's like so many songs on the internet which is like, when I vape, I make so many friends because you make vaping friends. You're like, oh, I like. It's like a community almost, a little vaping community. But that's what I mean. This whole idea of people will stop vaping, I think, and especially our views as people who don't vape, it's so idealistic. And our views on having
we need
kids.
someone who vapes on here.
We need someone who vapes. Good luck finding one. Finding one person who's willing to talk about it.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Rest of the Iceberg. We hope you enjoy our thoughts on vaping and other types of addiction. Let us know what you think of the subject and on the topic, and see you next time.